Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're going to be talking about how to start a new Blood Angels army. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so with the new release of the Blood Angels, bunch of new characters, the Codex, the army launch box, and then the combat patrol coming as well, I figured I'd take a look at what exactly you need to get started with the Blood Angels army and a good option for anybody that's interested. So starting off with the Blood Angels launch box, this is an absolutely amazing deal. There's a ton of value inside this box set. We did a breakdown on exactly how much is in here, and it's somewhere around like $560 in MSRP. So tons of saving over buying the individual components, as this box set is priced at $230, and there's definitely some deals out there to get a hold of one even cheaper. Part of the beauty of this box set in particular is it's going to include the brand new codex. You're going to get the digital code for the app, and then also the cards as well. So in all reality, if you had absolutely nothing and you were getting started with Blood Angels, this is a great option. You will still need the actual Space Marine Codex, as the Blood Angels book is a Codex supplement. But that being said, let's take a look at the actual points inside the box. Now, typically from Games Workshop, when the new Codex comes out, there's going to be points printed in the back. That's what we're going to be using for this video. But in all reality, I would expect some of these points to get tweaked initially on launch, and then also down the line once a couple months go by and we see how these actual units perform in gameplay. But in all reality, Games Workshop is pretty good about balancing things overall. I wouldn't expect too many crazy points changes, but obviously these points aren't going to be set in stone, so there's going to be some options for tweaking the list a bit. But that being said, let's take a look at what's in the actual box based on the points inside of the Codex. So first off, you have Astroth the Grim, 105 points. Then we have Lemartes for 100 points. We have the Death Company Dreadnought for 220 points. We have the Jump Pack Death Company for 115, another Jump Pack Death Company for 115, and then we have 2 units of 5 Death Company Marines for 95 points apiece. That's going to give us a total of 845 points inside this box set. Now, one really cool thing about this box set in particular is that you have the option to build just regular Jump Pack Assault Intercessors or Death Company, and then same for the regular Assault Intercessors or Death Company. You can also build the Death Company Dreadnought as a Brutalis Dreadnought if you prefer. So you have lots of options to actually tweak this list just with what comes inside the box set. But it is worth note that both Astroth and Lemartes can join Jump Pack Death Company, so you're probably going to want to build at least 2 squads of 5 of those, so you can have the characters attached to a 5-man squad of each. So 845 points, a pretty good starting point for your Blood Angels army. You're going to have 23 models from this box set. You're going to have the Codex and then the cards as well. So in my opinion, for a new Blood Angels player or a new Blood Angels army, this box is an absolute necessity. Alright, and then moving on from there, we have our next edition, the Blood Angels Combat Patrol. So this box set comes with the Blood Angels Captain, 75 points for him, which is odd because the actual Captain is 80 points in the Space Marine Codex. So realistically, I would expect him to be the same. And then we also have a Sanguinary Guard Squad, 3 for 150, a Sanguinary Guard Squad, 3 for 150, and then 2 Assault Intercessor Squads, 75 points apiece. So that's going to give us a total of 525 points. And then same with the Army Launch Box, you have the option to build the Assault Intercessors as Death Company as well. But realistically, unless you're doing the Death Company specific detachment, you're probably going to want a mix of both. That way you can join the Captain to some of the Assault Intercessors. Now we also have some other options outside these box sets, things like Commander Dante and the Sanguinor, and then just about anything from the Space Marine Codex can be added in as well. So there's a lot of different routes that you can take from here, but I think the addition of the Sanguinary Guard is going to be crucial. They're definitely a staple in the Blood Angels army. They're currently pointed in the back of the book at 150 points per 3. I think this is a little bit on the pricey side, as something like Blade Guard Veterans or Inner Circle Companions come in squads of 3. They're not quite as durable or as mobile, but both those squads run about 80 points. So hopefully the Sanguinary Guard are not going to be 150 points per 3. They'll be something closer to like 125 or 130. But realistically, they're definitely a very thematic addition to the army. And then they also add in a lot of the punch for the Blood Angels as well. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now back to the video. So there's a lot of different places we can go from here, but because both of these box sets are really good value, the launch box at $230 and then the Combat Patrol at $168 USD, I think the easiest route and probably the best bang for your buck is to just grab up one of the Blood Angels launch box. So you're going to have your codex and cards and a ton of Death Company characters and the Dreadnought, and then also 2 of the Combat Patrol. That's going to give you 77 total models, almost all infantry, a ton of different ways that you can build the models inside the set, and a pretty solid core force for Blood Angels. I think this would be fairly competitive on the table. It's going to be super thematic. You could use any of the 3 detachments in the book. You could lean in on the Death Company if you wanted to go that route. You could lean in on the mobile detachment that focuses on jump infantry and sanguinary guard for a little more tactical flexibility. But realistically, I think the best detachment, without being overly specialized, is the index detachment, which is the 3rd detachment in the codex. And that one's going to give all of your Blood Angels +2 strength on the charge and then +1 attack. It has some really good stratagems that aren't too overly focused, so you'll be able to use them on a nice mixed force. And with the army box set and then 2 of the combat patrols, it's going to come out to roughly 1,895 points. Now, without adding in any additional models or making any changes, you could easily spend that on your enhancements and get you to that 2,000 point mark. And I think you'd have a pretty fun, pretty thematic, and overall fairly competitive Blood Angels army. And most importantly, you have 2,000 points so you can put on the table as soon as you get them built and then painted, of course. Now, that being said, I would definitely want to add in Dante myself to go with 6 of the Sanguinary Guard. Mephiston's new rules are absolutely amazing. He's a lone op, so he'll be running on his own, but he's basically an auto-include with his current rules. And then we know the Sanguinor is not too far down the line as well, and he's extremely good also. So you may decide you want to swap in a couple of them, maybe take out the captain or one of the other characters. You may decide you want another vehicle or 2, something like a Gladiator Lancer for some long-range firepower as you put the pressure on with all of your infantry. But realistically, once you have a core force, the options are endless. Blade Guard veterans are always nice for their enhanced durability from the invulnerable save. Something like a cheap transport, like an Impulsor, is always really nice to get your guys where they need to be. But without overly optimizing your list, I think that picking up 2 of the combat patrols and 1 of the new launch box is a great start. With the addition of the Space Marine Codex, you're looking at roughly like $600 USD for this army right here. If you decide to grab up a couple more characters, they're running somewhere around like 45 bucks a piece. And because of the discounts that these big boxes have over MSRP, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck picking up these box sets rather than just picking up the individual kits you want specifically. But I think realistically, if you're looking to build a Blood Angels army, between the discount that you get inside these box sets and the overall composition of them, they go really well together, and this is a great core force for 2,000 points. Once you put everything on the table and see what your play style is like, how these models interact with each other and perform, you may decide you want to fill some specific gaps, like a little bit of long-range shooting, like I said with the Lancer, a couple more of the legendary characters like Dante or Mephiston, but realistically, the options are endless. And I think this is probably the route that I personally am going to be going. But it's not crazy to pick up 2 of the Blood Angels launch box and then 1 of the combat patrols and go that route. You may just want to pick up 1 of the Blood Angel launch boxes, 1 of the combat patrols, and then just add in some specific units you like. But the options are endless. And with so many choices for the new Blood Angels, with so many cool new rules, there's a lot of good ways that you could put your Blood Angels on the table. And being spoiled for choice with all these new models, new rules, the Blood Angels are in a really good place. So let me know what you think, what you're going to do for your own personal army, or what options you've come up with. Let me know down in the comments what you think of these new box sets. And as always, special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products. And make sure to tell them that Warhammer Man sent you. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man. And it's definitely the best time ever to put some black, red, and gold on the table. And I'm out of here.